Let me check it. Make sure we're on live. Come on, testing, 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 testing. God.
Trying not to look, but it's right there.
We live. We live.
You know, to a woman's look, to a woman's holding by how hard he looks. To a woman's holding by how hard he looks and ad libs.
God.
She displayed that, but Shalom, Shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor
To Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakadash.
double honors to our apostles and our elders. Salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work. To the support prophet that are listening and learning. Also, the scattered elect and the scattered among the heathen nations of Israelite forms. And today, there's a couple things going on. Somebody grab Isaiah 8:20. And neither one of them are of the Lord. First you have it's Father's Day today, from my understanding, which is not biblical. So anything that's not found in the Bible, we don't honor it. All right, that's a doctrine of man. If somebody can grab that too. Go ahead.
This Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Right. So all these made up holidays that are not of the Lord don't acknowledge them. And there's no light in these people, no understanding, no truth, man. So like I said, today is so-called Father's Day. But the Bible, the Lord didn't sanction no day for fathers. All right? And it's also, today is the day of the Puerto Rican parade.
Oh.
The Lord didn't create no nation of Puerto Rico.
It's
All
not
right?
in the scriptures, God.
At all.
God.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, so this is Matthew chapter 15, verse 9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for the doctrines, the commandments of men.
Right, so it's in vain, man, vanity. Right, and those are doctrines of men, which profit nothing, man, but destruction. Because the Lord is not with that. You hold something?
Yeah. Amos 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
There you go, man. The Lord hates their feast days, man. Hates it. And I remember years ago when I was a young man, especially when I was, being a bouncer up in all the black clubs, I couldn't wait for the Puerto Rican Day parade, man. Because,
when they came out.
It's the so-called Ephraimite parade, or actually the so-called Puerto Rican parade. It not only did it bring out Ephraim, but it brought out most of the Northern Kingdom. Right? They'd always show up to the parade, man. And it was, and I got a thing for Northern Kingdom women. They were all there, man. Dominicans, the Ecuadorians, the Brazilians, they were all there, man.
You talking about the parade in Humboldt Park, right?
Yeah.
With the whole little stands and everything.
Ephraim be out there deep, but the other tribes show up.
They
too.
be out there because I used to live over there.
Everybody shows up, man.
God.
Then the sad thing is that they gonna start doing nigga shit, start shooting and killing each other.
Somebody always get shot every year.
It's gonna it's gonna get bad out there. They gonna start pulling out them things, them metal protectors, and start doing what they do. What you got, brother?
This is Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
There you go, man. Envy not the oppressor, man, and choose none of his ways, man. We're supposed to follow the ways of Yahweh Hashem Shai, man, the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, man. And if something is not biblical, then we're not going to follow that, man. All right?
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, they're not the way of the heathen, and be not mistaken to staff in them, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Hey, don't follow the ways of the heathen, man. All right? These holidays that you worship and that you acknowledge in your churches are not ordained in the Bible. If it's not written in the Bible, you are not to do it. Point blank, period, man. And you're not going to find Father's Day in the Bible. You're not going to
Isaiah
find
8:20.
Mother's Day in the Bible.
Isaiah 8:20.
You're not going to find Puerto Rican parade in the Bible. All right?
God.
If the Lord didn't say it, then you don't do it. That's it. Point blank period, man. What you're doing is you're following doctrines of man, which will lead you straight to destruction. And destruction is near, man. This society is about to fall. Ain't gonna be no 911.
God.
What you gonna do then? All right, go ahead, brother.
So this is Philippians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of man, after the rudiments of the word, and not after Hamashiach.
Call it and read it again, brother. That was a beautiful scripture.
This is Philippians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after traditions of men,
After the traditions of men, man. Go ahead.
after the rudiments of this word, and not after Hamashiach.
And so people are lovers of the world, man. Or they want things to be their way expect, and women more so than men. To be honest with you, you know, niggas gonna be niggas, man. But I'm gonna tell you though, man, a man that has a man that has even a little bit of common sense, he'll hear something, and he'll get it, he'll humble down to it. Like he may not like it, but he'll agree. Damn, bro, that is what the Bible said. In most cases, or in some cases, but the average woman.
That happened to us at the church,
Had my former Ephraimite wife tell me that you can't tell me that every man in the Bible had more than one wife, and that whatever man is going to have just one wife in the kingdom, that I want to be that man, that be with that man and only have that one wife. Why can't I be the focus of all his? And I said, what you asking for is not biblical, and what you asking for will never happen. And she said, no, I can't. When you read the Bible, it don't tell you that every Israelite man had multiple wives. I said, well, a lot of the stories in the Bible, we were in captivity. But you best believe when we were living to our fullest, it says in the Bible, so are the people, so are the king. If somebody can find that real quick, all right? And when we were in our rulership position in the Bible, our king had 1,000 wives. So you can imagine his average subject had probably had at least 5 to 10. All right, you in the kingdom, well, your leader, your king, has 1,000 wives, and you only got one.
Can
Go
I
ahead, brother.
Real quick. This is Isaiah 60:22. A little one shall become 1,000.
That's the perfect scripture because I mentioned that.
God.
Go ahead.
And a small one, a strong nation.
And I told her, I said, you can't. I didn't quote the scripture verbatim, but I quoted the scripture. And I said, a little one shall become 1,000, and you can't have 1,000 children, babe.
At the same time,
I said,
how
you
will
can't do it.
we do it?
I said, you can't have 1,000 children. How are you gonna do that? And she kind of got quiet for a moment.
For God so loved the world, he gave up his only begotten
Oh, he got life water. This is some of the
He
worst
said,
water you can
whosoever
get.
believes in him shall not perish.
All right, so what's God's name?
And have Allah and have everlasting.
What's God's name? John 17:9, real quick. Woo.
I repent of your wrong.
This is John chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them.
No, listen to the scripture. You
John-
probably will not listen.
John chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the
So
world.
the Lord didn't play for the world, he played for them. What you got to understand is who the them is. All right?
But for them, which thou hast given me, for they are thine.
There you go, sister. The Lord loves his elect. Don't you forget it. He
Amen.
don't love everybody. That's a lie.
I know that less than April.
Okay?
I've been working 30 years, dedicated David.
The Lord loves his elect. Remember that. Only the elect.
No.
All right. So John 3 and 16, you were quoted in the wrong context. The world there was talking about the world of Israel, the elect of Israel. All right. It wasn't talking about all people.
That's my David.
Okay. Remember that. All right. Let's continue with the lesson.
You was talking about multiple wives. I want to give a little something for you.
Right.
This is Genesis chapter 16, verse 1. Now Sarah, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian whose name was Hagar.
Right?
And Sarah said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my hand, into my maid, and make me that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to her voice, to the voice of Sarah.
So from the beginning, our forefathers had multiple wives. Some just a few, some a whole bunch. The warrior Gideon, the judge warrior Gideon, I mean, what he had, 70, I believe? Then he had a lot of wives. Okay? So, and I, you know, I can only imagine there are more Israelites that's not even written about that have multiple wives, man. That's a common thing, and not only among Israel, among all the nations, man. Until Esau, Edom got into control with all that woman worship shit. You know?
Oh, he had 70 sons and many women.
Okay, 70 sons.
Yeah.
I mean, right, because
Many.
you know that one woman is not going to produce 70 sons. It didn't even mention his daughters. If he had 70 sons, he had probably at least half of that or more in daughters. Come on, man.
And to make a point to the back of the elder here, you got to understand, Sarah offered her handmaid. How many of you women going to ever offer anything to a man of the Lord?
Exactly. I'm on my period.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, but I'm unclean, honey, but here's my handmaid.
Hey, I got a girlfriend that likes you. You know, you can have her. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Right. If that girlfriend don't have a man, you know.
And that's going to be coming this time.
And that's what she kept saying, that you keep saying that Isaiah 4:1 is going to come soon. Go ahead, bring it up.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
So the way those women's reproach are going to be taken away is by that righteous man. And so what her complaint was that I didn't what did she say? I was hesitant to go into this being another wife, and then when things didn't, you know, work out the way I wanted them to do, now what you're saying is I just got to be an Isaiah 4:1 from this time until the kingdom come. Yes. All right, and I'm trying to explain to her and all you women out there is that your mindset that you have now, all right, is not going to be the same mindset the day of our power. Or when Isaiah 1 goes into effect, where you have to be under the covering of a man of the Lord. That life water is garbage, brother. Just so you know. Yeah, that's like I don't even know why they put alkaline on it. It's horrible water. It's really acidic. That water is really acidic.
People are going to take hold of one man because they're going to see all this hell that's going on during the day of our power, you know? Women get snatched up, women get killed, get beat. They want to see fruit. That's why they come go to us a man of the Lord, you know?
A lot of these little pretty little things, or these little women walking around half naked like the one earlier, one sitting across the street with a cleavage, you know, these big old bitties all hanging out. When it's no 911, they having that problem already. Police are arresting shoplifters in some states, especially San Francisco right now. So San Francisco is so bad with shoplifting, the shop owners have to shut their businesses down because they can't afford to operate because people are literally walking in their stores and clearing off the shelves with big duffel bags and plastic bags and walking right out because there's no one to arrest them. So how am I going to operate a business where I keep spending thousands of dollars on merchandise that I'm trying to resell to make a profit, and everybody just keep cleaning up my shelves for free, and ain't nobody the insurance? How long you think insurance gonna cover me if every month I'm making an insurance claim? Well, I lost $5,000 worth. Right, I lost $5,000 worth of merchandise every damn month, man. Plus you got to pay your employees. And so, what that's showing you is that is a precursor to them not coming for home invasion, carjackings, and then some woman's gonna be calling on the phone, trying to call 911, saying that I'm in the bathroom hiding. They're already in the house. Well, you know what the operator gonna have to tell you? The operator gonna tell you, well, honey, take some aspirins, and
what they tell you.
put a whole lot of Vaseline on your private parts. Right, because you know it's getting ready to go down. Right, you're gonna have to endure that. That's what it is. Don't fight so they won't beat you up. If you just surrender, they may not beat you up too bad. So just surrender and take a handful of Vaseline and put it on your private parts. Both entrances, right? Because they get ready to put it on you, man. All right, and that you get ready to endure that. That's how bad it's gonna get. They sound grimy, but it is, man. I just watched the second season of the Black Summer. If you ever saw the first season is good. Man, the second, oh my God. Man, it from out the gate, soon as it comes on, man. All right, every bitch is gonna be ruthless. I need help, and she gonna pull at your thing on. I'm telling you, boy, it's gonna go bad. Go ahead, brother.
The book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where's the Lord Yahweh thy power?
Where's your God? Where's your power? You just out on those streets. You know, who out the band? You need to get a job. You need work, you know, okay. The Lord love everybody. I don't know what y'all talking about anyway. Oh, okay.
I have no idea how much the Lord is taking care of us, man.
No idea.
No idea what we actually witnessed.
Not spiritual, man. Brother's been having spiritual things. Look. Just about 2 weeks ago, I was talking to Uriah, and he was telling me an incident about how Bunyan was coming up the stairs. And Uriah said, huh? And then Bunyan said, I didn't see anything. And he said, I was getting ready to see it in my mind. But Uriah was like, what did you say, brother? Brother, that Ephraimite I was talking about was a block away from me. I'm walking, and I had on earphones, and I pulled out my earphones and turned around, and she just stopped, and then she started walking toward me, and I'm like, so what? And I said, I heard you calling me. I heard you. And she said, I didn't say anything.
I know she like, what the fuck?
She said she was right, so I heard her. So hey, look, it's coming, man. It's coming.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
My eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the street.
She's gonna be trodden down as like the mire of the street, basically meaning shit, man. All right, because you know when you looking at animals in parade, when you looking at horses, a horse ain't like a human. They ain't trying to go find a corner, and you know, and look, see if anybody looking. The horse like, man, I gotta go, man. And they gonna drop it right where they walking, while they running, wherever they at.
Saying they tail.
Yep, and then they tail gonna flop, right? That's why they got that great big old bushy tail. It's gonna flop, clean them off. If you better not be standing back there.
It's a wrap.
All right? And the rest of the horses and the rest of the parade gonna trample it flat until it's flat to the street, man. And you see it downtown Chicago all the time with the mounted police. All right? You can tell when the horses went by because there'll be those smashed piles of horse stuff. All right? So it's comparing a woman to that. That's what it's saying gonna happen to a lot of these women out here. All right? Go ahead.
It's the second entrance, 9. I'm gonna start at I'm gonna start at 7, but the point is it's at 11. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby he hath believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be a pitiful cage, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments.
Torments, man. The Lord saying it's not just gonna be, it's gonna be like you just living in a house of pain, man. Like the rap group. You just, the door just open, you just all up in a house of pain. Every room you turn, it's just more pain, more suffering, man. All right? Go ahead, brother.
It says, and they shall be a pitiful case. I said, but now has abused my ways, and they that cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment. For such as in their life has received benefits and have not known me. Right? Because you gotta think a lot of these Israelites have they got benefits, right? They enjoying this life right now, man. They got nice cars, nice clothes. Hey, the woman, the nigga woman is actually in a position of power right now.
And she's losing it. All right, they're losing that power because guess what? The governor in Texas, what's going on in Texas is going to start happening across the whole country. It's what they're doing. All those benefits that protected renters from being evicted. Now the courts have pulled all that back, and now millions and millions of Americans are now facing evictions. All right, because American renters owe billions to home owners and property owners, and they don't have the money to pay, man. And so now it doesn't matter that you get that money month to month, but you still don't have. That's still not going to take care of your living standards and pay your rent, man. So all that's about to turn on you, man. All these goodies you've been getting is about to go down the drain. All right, a lot of you about to be ass out, man. And even the authorities are warning that this summer's going to be really bloody, man. And you got a shortage of police officers in every major city. Every major city. And crime is going up. And when it get hot like this, you already know all these cowards going to be pulling off their guns, shooting each other, man. All right? No.
It's verse 11. And they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when a place of repentance was opened unto them, understood not, but despised it.
So when the men of the Lord were out here warning you of things that are going to come, you didn't want to listen. You didn't want to listen. But when you laying there leaking, because little Ray then wet you up, whatever they call it, all right?
Yeah.
You know, your ops got you on that car. You know? Then you're going to be sitting up thinking, you know, how you should have listened when you had a chance, man. Right? Because, hey, look, a lot of these people you don't believe in the Lord, you don't fear. But all of you going to find out that the Lord is real, man.
The dude that fell out, that actually happened to him. Right? He kept telling the brothers he was going to come back. I think the brother did a video on it. He kept saying the brother was going to come back. And the brother sinking. Right? And it was two of them. One got shot in the back of the head, he died instantly. But the other one made it all the way to the hospital and died at the hospital. So you got to imagine what was going through his mind.
Yeah, he had a rough ride. It'd actually been better if he was the one that died instantly.
So the Lord had more mercy on the one that just got shot, but the one that kept saying he was going to come back, he had an agonizing death. He probably, how much shot, please?
Many stripes.
Yeah.
Many stripes, so few stripes. So you get shot in the head and die instantly. You know, that's few stripes.
That's mercy.
The Lord gave you mercy. He said, well, you know what? You're wicked, and your punishment is death. Here it is. But you heard me. You saw my men, right? Yeah. So here, and let me give you some of this pain and fear to go along with it, right?
That's some scary shit.
Yeah.
It says one more verse. It says the same must know it after death by pain.
After death by pain, man.
And that brother got that.
You know, after death by pain.
And he walked. He didn't have a car. He took him to the hospital. I think he ran to the hospital because he wasn't too far from it.
That's what killed him.
And
If you run, your heart rate goes up. He right. He lost too much blood.
He had to sit there and wait for the ambulance. He probably would have.
He might have made it.
But the fear, he was so
if you can elevate your heart above the wound, but see, you want to be a gangster and be tough. You don't even know anything about basic first aid. All right?
This is Isaiah. This is, let's get back to the woman. This is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. And this is the Heavenly Father sitting up there saying to you ladies, it's time to listen. You got these guys out here on the highways and byways, these prophets out here on the highways and byways preaching, and it's time to hear his word. This is Isaiah 32 and 10. Many days and years ago, ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vengeance shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. And that was just what the elder was talking about. All these programs that y'all got, all this welfare, all this is about to come to an end. And guess what? What you gonna have? You ain't gonna have nothing. You're gonna be alone. You ain't gonna have shit because all the time that the brothers is out here on the highways and byways preaching, you ignore them, you scoff. You got men at home. You got guys at home that's in the truth that you ignore, that's your husband. You scoff at, talk nasty
your
to
brother, your cousin, whoever he may be, your uncle.
You know what they're gonna think about? Only thing they got is box, and it's gonna get used up.
Oh, wow.
That box, whatever. It's gonna get used up.
This is Isaiah.
You're gonna find out it ain't as good as they thought it was.
Right?
Because when you don't get picked, when you don't get chosen.
Yeah. This is Isaiah 32 and 11. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare. And gird set cloth upon your Lord.
And this is the Lord talking. For the past couple of weeks, the Spirit has been on our women, man. On the Israelite women. On the nigga woman, man. Alright? The Spirit has been on the fucking nigga woman, man. Alright? Hey, the Lord finna really start cracking you bitches across y'all shit, man. Alright? Like we seen a video, I seen a video of a woman with lumps all on her face.
I saw that too.
Laughing at her.
I saw that too. Even though she got lumped by another woman from what the video said, but it was pretty bad, man.
Yeah.
But that was a judgment, man. That was a judgment, and whoever that man was that whatever caused it, nobody protected you, man. All right, because ain't no way in the world I would allow nobody to lump my woman up like that. You know.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as dwell upon a woman with children, and they shall not escape.
There you go, brother. Certain destruction gonna come upon you, man. Or you think it's peace and safety? There ain't gonna be no peace and safety, man. You know? The Lord gonna jack y'all up, man.
Right when you think America got good, right when you think everything calmed down.
It only opened up so they could turn it because they weren't ready for complete utter chaos yet. They weren't ready for it, but you best believe, come late July, August, and this is coming from a lot of people, man. You got aluminum shortage, the meat plants are shut down. You got a water shortage out west, and now you having a heat wave. Hell, Death Valley was 130 degrees today, man, and yesterday.
Arizona.
Death Valley, yeah, it's in between. It's in between. It's kind of like on the border between the two. All right.
Yeah, the Hoover Dam drying up.
They don't call it Death Valley for nothing, man.
The Hoover Dam done dried up by 130 feet. That's 13 stories.
Yeah.
13 stories, 130 feet.
Yeah, the Lord is tearing this place up, man.
A mega drought, I think, in Texas. I mean, man, and y'all ain't paying attention. Y'all still want to be out here partying.
And the violence is up in every city. They're going to get caught like in that movie, The First Purge. And everybody was out the street doing their thing. Right. And meanwhile, what was my man's name? Skeletor?
Yeah.
Skeletor all up in the crowd. The chick started twerking, and he twerked the ass, all right? He had her twerking when he pulled out that damn knife. All right? Because they're going to think it's a party, man. And them Skeletors are out there, man.
Weirdo.
And he was a straight creep, man.
You already got people like the clown gang. You got different militias.
Clown gang.
It's a clown gang. All right, where they only wear clown makeup. They go to work at regular jobs, but on their spare time, they in like some clown gang, man. All right, you can look it up. It's like some type of gang, man.
Right? It's craziness out there, man. And the rumors, there was a story that went out about maybe 3-4 years ago about and the story was about gay gangs in Atlanta that were raping men, that were raping straight men. They purposely would target straight men. And then it was said that it wasn't true. And then I talked to someone who was from Atlanta and said it was true. They said that was really happening. So you had these thug gangs, straight up thugs, fags, well, I can't say that word, gay guys that was rolling up on straight guys, you know, and then gang raping. Basically, talking about, you know, you try to be a man to get out for yours, and you get jumped by a bunch of dudes, and then they rape you. And they was and so and it was a lady, and she told me no, that was really happening. It wasn't a rumor, it was really happening, man.
Which is not hard to believe, because a couple years ago in Chicago on the news, it was a story where it was a traffic incident. A dude, two men got in a fight. One beat him up, and he bent him over the car and raped him in the middle of the street, man. Like in front of everybody, man. Beat him up.
Yeah, he was on some old Roman battlefield Greek shit. Yeah. You know, that's what the Greeks would do. They would do that in battle to a defeated opponent. The guy that's bleeding half dead.
Alexander the Greek.
Yeah, they were there. The soldiers would rape men as they were dying. Yeah.
That's a horrible way to die.
Yeah, it is, brother. Yeah, I'm about to show a shot if I can I just die in peace? You know, you've been stabbed.
You already got me.
Right, your damn guts falling out, and some dude trying to hump you like a damn woman, man. What kind of shit is that, man?
The scriptures tell you, like this place in Revelation, it says the place of every foul spirit and every hateful bird, man.
That's a foul ass spirit.
That's a foul spirit, man. That's damn near close to necromancy. You humping on a man, you know, and he dying. That's some weirdo shit.
That's some real weird. That's some. Hey, there's a scene in Black Summer where the one Jake roll up on the other Jake was like, man, I know you, man. And it turns out he did know him. But they came up on this spot where it was a bunch of weird shit. And he said, man, that's some white people shit. And then when it got real hot, when it actually went down, I don't want to spoil it. And he was like, man, see, I told you that was some white people shit. Because it was. Because only they do crazy shit like
crazy shit. Yeah.
Right? But you know what? Them same vile spirits is on them. It's now on Jake, man. Because, you know, Jake ain't known for committing suicide and that whole sort of thing. And so you got a lot of Jakes doing this pandemic. Then they committed suicide, man. You know, I know an Ephraimite woman who just learned about the truth, you know. And her son just took himself out. And it's sad because he was the only one in their family that didn't take the damn waters. He was the only one. After he had mental issues and stuff like that, he wasn't trying to hear nothing.
House, the damn spirit.
Yeah, they found him in a damn shed, man. Dude I think he just turned 33. Yeah, that's a young man.
Hey, it's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get crazy, man. You haven't seen, hey, like the scriptures talk about, if you do this in the green tree, what you gonna do in the dry? If you acting crazy, if you got all of these crazy people doing this right now, and all hell ain't really came to its fullness, what you gonna think when all hell come to its perfection? When chaos comes to, when you in chaos perfected, all right? When the king of terrors really let loose, all right, these evil spirits to really just go crazy,
yeah.
man. What you people gonna do then?
And yeah, it's not only it's gonna be crazy people, you're gonna actually see apparitions. Right? I actually watched. I finally got to see the King Kong and Godzilla, man. You can't tell me that Godzilla is not a representation of the Bible. All right? And King Kong could be representation of Bohemia. They know it's wrong, man. All right? The Lord talks about Bohemia.
And King Kong in the movie, Godzilla just wanted King Kong to bow down to him. That's it. You know, but the real enemy was who? Esau. They knew who the enemy was.
Yeah.
Because Godzilla wasn't looking for King Kong. He was looking for Esau.
He was looking for the evil.
Right. He was looking for wickedness.
He was looking to exterminate the wickedness, man. All right? And matter of fact, so was Kong.
Yeah. Because he was trying to get up out of that. He was trying to get up out of the...
Kong just wanted to go home. So everything that it's all spiritual. Because what do we want to do? We just want to go home. We want to go home to our own land so we can live peacefully without being oppressed under these Edomites, under all their contractual law. And rule over our households and have our wives, multiple ones, and our children, and our own land and our own places and not be bothered. That's all we want, man.
Yep.
All right?
That's all Israel ever want. Even when you read the scriptures, you know. when Israel was left alone in Egypt, like what happened when Egypt, they flourished. It became a mighty nation.
Well, it's funny that you said that because before I got here, I ate before I got here. I just finished training, so I didn't want to come out here and be tired from training and nothing. Had no food in me, no water, nothing. So I stopped to eat. But while I'm sitting there eating, they have the bloody summer of 1917. Of 1919, which basically was 4 years from the time that World War I had started. Now, I'm not sure how long World War I. I know that World War II went from like 1940 to like 1945. But basically, during that bloody summer, all right, and the Edomite historian said that basically during that red summer, they call it the red summer. It was just Edomite mob. We have to say white people attacking. They call black, or I'm gonna say Israelites, attacking Southern Kingdom Israelites, or attacking Southern Kingdom Israelites neighborhoods and stores, and it was just simply jealousy. All right, during that time period, they were attacking the established, built-up neighborhoods where so-called black people live. And they were murdering them and beating them, and it said that they were shooting, clubbing, and burning them to death. So it said hundreds of them, man. So the ones that stand out the most is always going to be Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right, the Black Belt right here in Chicago, which most people don't know about. Average Chicagoan that grew up in Chicago and know nothing about the Black Belt. And you know about the Black Belt? You see, it's sad. It's sad. I grew up in Chicago, went to the school system here. I didn't learn about the Black Belt until late into my adult life. All right. So you have Rosewood. That was the third one, and then the fourth one is Elaine, Arkansas. All right, but there were many more in between. All right. That's Tulsa. All right. And so just so you know, the Black Belt in Chicago was equal to, or if not greater than, Black Wall Street. Right? And they called it, today they call it Bronzeville. But that was known in the year of the Red Summer as the Black Belt. So all those huge mansions that are all up and down Indiana, Drexel, King Drive, all those gigantic mansions and those big buildings and those churches, all those were built up by so-called black people. And we were independent, and they were independently wealthy. They had their own, and they had their parents. That was my note. Yeah, that was my note. That was my note. That's a 3-speed on the collar. He bought that car. Well, it actually didn't look like the same dude, so he probably sold it again. But that was my car. I bought it from an Issacharite about a month ago, about 10 years ago. But anyway, that was a nice note. They won the 2-door, that's why they won it. But nevertheless, the Black Belt, they have their own banks, their own grocery stores, own movie theaters, all right, and all that. And it was doing so well that the Edomite citizens, what you call white people of Chicago, were coming to the Black Belt to do commerce and business. All right, and then the Black Belt was so prosperous. When the race riot came and they burned it down, they beat all our people. You have to understand, they built the damn riot right through it on purpose. All right, and then look at so that they were those people. Then they brought in Martin Luther King, all right, and ruined everything, right? Because why? Because when because prior to him, Jake was separated and their neighborhoods built up without dealing with the Edomites.
We had our own hospital.
Yes.
We had our own everything.
And with that, with segregation, empowered Jacob. All right, and so the Southern Kingdom was actually doing really good back then, and Esau couldn't stand it. So that's why that summer, the Red Summer, they went all throughout America and they destroyed every place where Jacob was doing well. And you have to understand, the people who owned all those properties and all those lands, those houses and those homes and those lands in Tulsa and Rosewood and Elaine and in Chicago, what that's telling you is that all the local government was involved in it. Because after the smoke cleared, you couldn't go back to your house. All right, they didn't allow these so-called black people to go back to their properties in Tulsa, Oklahoma. As a matter of fact, the Edomites brought their wives down to the big old houses and would let their wives go through it, and they was taking all the silverware, all the dresses, all the furniture, the pianos, and all this. Jake was doing good. They robbed them blind, and then the courts. That means that the judges, the lawyers, the sheriffs, the aldermen, everybody was involved, because those families were not able to get their property back or payment for their properties. And all those properties are now owned by white people, which means that the courts allowed them to get the deeds and quick deeds and sell off the property for pennies on the dollar. And now you have an Edomite that owns 5-6 blocks of property, all right? And able to pass it on to his children and on to his children. And that's why they're doing so well, man. Go ahead. Then they want to get mad and say, there's no such thing as white privilege. You're a lie, man.
Just like that resort that got taken from the Israelites. It just not getting back.
75 years later.
The government
and they're gonna lose it in again, because they just gave it was in Malibu Beach, I believe. In Malibu, they got that land back, that beachfront property, and that hotel. They took it from them, and they gave it back to them. But they don't know how to manage that money. Neither are they going to have to be able to come up the money to pay the taxes on.
Can I say from experience?
Go ahead, brother.
My father's house at Pilsen, he sold it for $250,000. Now it's worth $1.5 million.
There it is, man. There it is, and that's why when you drive through Pilsen, you'll see all on the walls in the alleys, with the Northern Kingdom telling the white folks to get out. And they did the same thing at Humboldt Park. They doing it. So Humboldt Park is being acquired. Humboldt Park is shrank, man.
Ephraimites pissed off.
Yeah, they ain't happy at all, man.
Because they raising the taxes.
And they running them out. And, they got the 606 going. I didn't roll my bike down to 606. It's nice, man. Basically, it's an elevated train track that went right through the neighborhood. Yeah. And Jake used to use it to go back and forth and just do wicked shit. Yeah. But nevertheless, Esau moved to the neighborhood, and they done built up all the condos and all the buildings. So people sitting in their condos, and they done made the top of the train track this lovely, nice walkway and runway. And then it's all nice and clean with shiny lights and paths and little picnic spots. So you sitting on your balcony in the 606 right there, right? Man, and they built it right through Humboldt Park, because Humboldt Park was huge, man. All right, I used to go over there when I was a teenager, man. All right, I had a girlfriend lived over there when I was in high school, man. So I was over at Humboldt Park all the time. All right, and starting right there at Dayton. Right when you get off
when you get to Dayton,
seeing as you got off at Division, when you on the North Avenue, Damon and Division, you were in Humboldt Park. And Humboldt Park was Humboldt Park. You got out and I used to fit right in with Ephraim over there, man. You got off and all the shops was open. All you heard was the Congos and the salsa music. The food, you smelled good. Every other store, all the shops. And now it's not like that no more, man. It's all yuppied out.
You get to Damon. Once you get to Damon, that's where it all starts.
What now?
Yeah. When you get to Damon, you get the condos.
That number $1 million condos.
You got the Italian restaurants. You got the little wineries down there. You got the what's that? The fancy word for yoga.
And the more you go, yeah, that's
Pilates?
Huh? No, for yoga. Parfait as well.
Yeah, something like this.
Pilates.
Yeah,
Pilates is a fancy word for yoga, brother.
Yeah.
No, he thought you said yoga.
Yeah, no,
you said yoga.
Oh, I think you said yoga. Yeah, I think you said yoga. Yeah.
But that's what Esau do. You know what I mean? Hey, but you guys
Yeah, this one, I got to preach up this Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work of evil upon their bed. When the morning is light, they practice it, cuts them about their hand. That's what they do. So like I was saying, they flood us out, segregate us, and then come in and do their wickedness.
And they start building up.
Yep. That's
Like
how
there's
they
a
do it.
picture that's floating around. Let me see. Let me go to my evidence folder.
Divide and conquer. That's what they do, man. They always divide and conquer us, man. And they always did their wickedness when they working upon their bid. They think about it, they get it ready, like they do their wicked rituals and stuff, and then they put it in the light. And then they steal everything from you in front of your eyes. I'm gonna keep going. And they cover fields and take them by
violence
and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
Right, and then some of the people don't want to sell, and they'll actually start doing things to people. Or what they'll do, like you know, you have some of the Ephraimites, some of the Iskarites, and Pilsen, some in Humble Park, who refuse to sell their properties. So what they would do, they just start killing them with taxes. The taxes goes up so high that they're forced to move, and then they can't afford to keep their property. Then they come in and then they get behind on taxes, and then they come in and take their property, and they buy they for nothing, man. Those unrighteous decrees.
They oppress your house. I got Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that work grievousness which they have prescribed.
Because taxes on land that you already paid for. You buy a house, you shouldn't have to pay taxes on your house, man. All right, but Esau, he said since they own the land, all right, they put basically loopholes in the system to where you don't own it. Hey, Esau set up things to where they tell you got the right to travel, all right, but then when you driving your car without a license, and a license is supposed to be used for commercial use, they'll take your vehicle.
That's true.
They'll take your car, and then they'll take your car and go sell it. That's stealing. Possession the law. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah, you're supposed to have the right to travel, and because he's right. That's one of those things. Somebody get that Isaiah 10:1. That's an unrighteous decree. Read it again, brother.
This Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
And those laws are grievous. And who are those laws basically tailor-made to? Which you go to Psalms 83, that crafty counsel. All of these laws are geared towards the Israelites, the Negroes, Latin, and Native Americans. Because what Israelite can really afford, on top of having kids, because you know Jake love having kids, all right, on top of having to pay for rent, on top of having a light bill, gas bill, on top of having to pay for food and pay for this and pay for that, all right, who can afford insurance, man? All right, when you get your fucking car towed in Chicago, they hit you with a $1,500 to $1,000 to $1,500 on top of your fucking tow fee. You don't got the goddamn money to get the goddamn insurance. Who makes you think I'm gonna be able to give you $1,500? They make it to where you can't get your fucking car, man.
Yeah. They set these laws up to rob you in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing about it.
That's the license. The license thing is done under the color of law. Truth be said, that it is actually not a constitutional law, nor really state law legally for you to have a driver's license. You actually have the right to travel. So hold that thought. Basically, a driver's license, just like what the brother said, a driver's license is for commercial use only. They're the only people who are required to have a driver's license. It tells you that. Is it right? If you using your car for commercial use, if you using your car to go to work, to go see your woman, to go see your kids, to go pay a bill, to go buy groceries, you don't actually need a driver's license. You need a driver's license to drive a bus, to drive a
Pepsi truck.
Yes, a Pepsi truck, a Coke truck, that whole sort of thing.
That's why you get
a bus driver, the mail driver. Licenses are required for those sort of things. But for private use, so when they saw that they can make the money after this, and insurance companies, everybody gets involved in it, and so it's actually color of law, it's not actual law. And lots of things are done in America under the color of law. So they're really ripping off the American citizens. We have an oppressive system, man, which is an injurious, oppressive system. Because why? It injures you financially, all right, and cripples you.
It's funny, I came over here to get some girl and whatnot, and I was going to ask y'all to help me because I don't know how to drive, right? And I'm flying or whatever, I got my permit. But you were just talking about the license, but you're going to need it for commercial driving, so I was just stating that because y'all just brought it up, but I was going to ask you anyway.
Well, to be honest, the scriptures say, give it a season when it's doing the season.
Right. So you don't want to put yourself in a jam. I'm letting you know that it's illegal for them to force you to have one,
We do it,
but to prevent you from having all the legal headaches that come up without having it. It's, you know.
So we can follow y'all on Facebook?
Yes. No, you go on YouTube.
YouTube.
What's your name on YouTube?
GMS.
GMS Chicago.
So I was going to ask you guys, up to help you learn how to drive. Take the time out to do that.
I've been teaching you already, though.
Yeah, you have, but
Well, you got your woman, you know. Shit. We can teach you how to get salvation. We can teach you something better.
Yeah,
than
brother.
driving.
We
yeah,
can
salvation,
teach
I
you
want that
something.
first.
Well, I'll tell you this. Because you're going to need that first. Because what's about to happen in society, this place is about to go down, brother. America's about to collapse. And it's written about in the Bible. And that's why I'm here warning our people. First thing you got to do is you got to learn the real name of the Lord. You got to learn his true name, because Jesus and Jehovah is not it. Those are not. The letter J didn't exist when the Lord was walking the earth. That was not his name. All right. He wanted, people weren't saying, crying out to Jesus. Now, the letter J did not exist until the late 1500s, mid 1500s. All right. It didn't get put in the books until the 1600s. All right.
I got a scripture for you, brother. This is Acts 26. I'm going to start at 14. Now, this is an account with Paul when the Lord revealed himself to him. It said, and when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking it to me in the Hebrew tongues.
Wait, and he said it. What did he say? What language did he say his name in?
Hebrew
He
tongue.
said it in the Hebrew tongue. So what does that tell you? The language, he's a Hebrew from the tribe of Judah, right? He was a Judite, right? And it also tells you what's the language of heaven, Hebrew. So what all these Catholics do? They sing and chant in Latin. Latin is all. Guess what prayers and chants are done in Latin? Witchcraft. Satan is used Latin. The Lord don't use Latin. The people of the Lord. The language of heaven is Hebrew. All right? And Jesus is of Latin descent.
They even show you in that
Greek is descent. Greek is a Latin language.
All right? They even show you in that movie, The Fourth Kind, and they talk about how the demons, the angels that was talking, they were speaking Hebrew. They wasn't speaking Latin or nothing. They were speaking Hebrew. You know, they said, how are they speaking ancient Aramaic, which is Hebrew?
Right. They call it, ain't no Aramaic. It's Hebrew.
It's Hebrew. It says, Saul. Now, you ever read the Bible before? When it's in red, it's the Lord talking, right? So all of this is in red. So when you read this, it's the Lord talking. So it's not supposed to be in English. It's supposed to be Hebrew, right? So it says, Saul, while persecutest thou me, it's hard for thee to kick against the pricks, right? So this is, now Paul is convenient because Paul spoke many languages. So now since he's talking in Hebrew, Paul is speaking back to him in Hebrew, right? He said, and I said, who art thou, Lord? And he said, I am. It say Jesus right here, right? But you know he was speaking Hebrew. Jesus, the letter J didn't come about to the year 1634, which makes J English, which Jesus is English. And then before they called him Jesus, it say Jesus in the 1611 when there was no J's.
Yeah.
When it only means anointed, right? But when you click on it, it say G2424, right? It's gonna give you the etymology of the word. Now you see, Jesus, that's what they was calling him before the J. It's when they first changed it, right? Then if you go down, it says origins, of Hebrew origins. So his name is of Hebrew origins. Now this is Yiddish, right? Because they don't give you the real Hebrew because the scriptures say the name of the Lord is dreadful amongst the heathen.
Let's go to the evidence.
God.
Right.
So when you read it, now this is Hebrew. This is the modern Hebrew. This is the modern Hebrew, right? This is this, right? So when you read this, it says Yah, Ha. That's a Yah, the little line right there. That's a Ha. The W looking thing is a Shah, and the Y, the backwards Y is an I. So how you say it is Yahweh Shai. So
that's the name of the Lord.
That's the name of who they end up calling.
Yeah, because he basically, and he had Joshua had the same name. The name Joshua is Yahweh Shai as well.
Okay.
All right, so Joshua is the English way of saying Yahweh Shai.
If they had called him anything, they should have called him Joshua.
All right, but this is a definition of Yiddish. All right, it says Yiddish, Jewish, Jew, a kind of mixed German and Hebrew language spoken by Jews and written or printed in Hebrew characters. So they speak in another language, but they use in Hebrew characters. So to everyone else, they're like, oh wow, they're speaking. No,
Right.
right. And this is from the Winston Simplified Dictionary.
That's
Right.
That's like. All right, my name is Arala. That's like spelling it out, Ahraahla. And you take that. It's English. I'm writing it in English, but I'm speaking Hebrew. That's basically what they saying. That's basically what they doing. They taking Yiddish, but they using the Hebrew characters.
Right.
But they calling it because they destroyed the original.
Right, and then it's a mixed German and Slavic language. Right, Slavic means slaves. Why? And who are they slaves to? They used to be slaves to us.
What does Caucasian mean?
It means cave dweller.
Cave dweller.
It means cave dweller because they actually were the cavemen. That's because the lack of pigment, but that's not. That was a different. That was just a curse put on them. But the whole thing about they're the only people that ever lived in a cave. So that whole caveman stuff, that was them.
We pushed them.
And
It's like barbarian.
and they don't understand. And here's another thing before you leave. When they were called, because the first caves they lived in was in Mount Petra, which was south. No, that's the second. The first caves they lived in was Petra, which was Mount Seir, all right, which is south of Israel. When they got pushed into the Caucasus Mountains, we pushed them in the Caucasus Mountains. We forced them up there, and that was the time when they became cavemen. And that's why they try to say European Caucasian. No, they were forced into those Caucasus Mountains by people that look like you. All right, because your people used to rule Europe, whether you knew that or not. All those castles and stuff that's built in Scotland and Ireland, yeah, those were built by you, man. And then they'll tell you that you're African and all that other stuff. No, Africans were our enemies. We were at war with them. They weren't our people. That's how we ended up over enslaved. That's right.
No, Hebrew.
A Moor is a German word for black. The Moors were still Israelites.
Some people identify as
All right?
Could y'all pray for me, brothers?
Just so you know. Hey, what's your name, brother? Ray? Grady. No, brother. The ancient world. And we learn their hand stuff. There you go. But yeah, but just know, he giving you a card, brother. But just know, sister, those Moors, just because they chose to follow Islam don't make them not Israelites. They still Israel.
And they knew they was Israelites.
And they knew they were Israelites too. So they going off with that because Allah is just a Hebrew word which means power. That's not the name of God. It means power.
So why they be saying power be the Allah? They saying power be the power.
Power be the power.
All right, bro. All right. Let me hit this real quick. This because you made a point. It's Malachi. That's why this scripture says she signed. All right, it's Malachi 1:3. It says, I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. I so he tell you that Esau dwelt in mountains. That's what goes into even I think even in the book of Obadiah it talks about that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rocks. Oh yeah. All right, it's talking about Esau because that was their dwelling place, mountains. Yeah. You know, when you could take a human skull, you're dead, and use his damn skull
instead of burying your father like you're supposed to, you sitting up eating oatmeal and cereal and bugs out of your damn grandma's skull.
Weird,
you know,
it's weirdo shit.
And even in that Arthur Koestler book, it talked about how their wives walked around topless in front of everybody. Yeah. You know, and you come to sit down to sit down in a man in his dwelling place, and then his woman coming to bring y'all water, and you look up to get the water, and this big ass titties in your face.
That is,
you know, it's like damn. So is this woman for me or what's? That's my wife, huh? Is this a gift unto me or? Right.
Who is this woman?
And they was eating bed bugs and shit off their vagina. That's all types of
yeah, Arthur Koestler put him on blast, man. But that's why he and his wife, after successfully writing the 13th Tribe, they supposedly held hands and committed suicide and went out their 4-story apartment building in London face first.
What a good story.
Yeah, so they decided to just step up on the window and hold hands.
Baby, let's go.
Right, together, right. You know,
He ain't down long like these niggas.
you know.
Hey,
No, but the point is they killed the
But they
Messiah
killed
him.
both of them.
Yeah.
The
Because
Messiah,
she knew too much.
the Messiah killed the Costa, man.
God.
All right, we can't prove that, but we know who did it.
God,
Because
God.
why? Because he had exposed who they were.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can't get around it. The scripture say what? Their own tongue,
Psalm
man.
64 had to happen.
You know what I'm
And it's
saying?
continually happening. Just like you got, all of a sudden, now Dr. Franchi is saying, I'm going to get to the bottom of this virus and how it was man-made and blah, blah, blah. And when he was laughing, saying that was impossible and that it could not have been that way, he was defending.
And now he want to act
And
like
now all of
a
a
good
sudden,
guy.
so now this murderer, deceitful murderer, is going to investigate himself. I'm going to get to the bottom as he's putting the smoking gun away.
Right.
Of who did all these shootings? Who was these white? I'm wiping the prints off. Right. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'm going to find out who did it. That's right. But I'm all on film doing the shooting.
And how many people actually died behind the waters?
Man.
Right? And they not telling you what's really going on with the waters, man. It's actually killing a lot of people, man. Right? How many, it's countless. They're not even gonna tell you that. Right?
Yeah, and they deleted and striped a lot of channels and a lot of videos saying what we just said, and now
Everybody else coming out.
and now, right, exactly, and now they're forced to admit to it. Why? Because somebody is doing this.
This is Psalms 64, and I'm going to start at 7. But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
And that's the truth, man. This truth is a weapon. It's an arrow, man. All right? And now you got all these truthers and all these people. But, hey, look, man, I'm no scientist, but I did spend, quite a few years in the military, and I learned something about chemical attacks and how to deal with them and those sort of things, and chem suits and all that kind of stuff. And one thing that I did understand, because I learned that when you're dealing with chemical warfare, all right, viruses, if they go airborne, it's because it's been weaponized. It's common fucking sense, man.
The only way you get it bodily.
Exactly.
Like HIV.
You don't have, right, HIV not going to do a kung fu flip. Fly through the air. Samurai Saturday night, kung fu flip off of me over to him. Let me see you move.
He's got me.
Try my kung fu.
That shit it don't happen like that, man. To get a virus, you have to have some sort of bodily from now. Someone just straight up sneeze in your face and snot all over you. Of course you can catch that cold. All right? But a common cold, before it hits you, you show no signs whatsoever. So if you got a cold and you busting the slob with your woman, and y'all do the thing,
that's why
and then all of a sudden, a day or two later, you start, you see that itch in your throat, then you feel the soreness, right? Then you call your woman and she the same thing, in my throat. Right, one of y'all was sick.
And that's how to do it.
And that's how a germ was passed that way. Like I said, I don't walk in the room and I got a cold and it's gonna just turn 50 flips and kung fu Samurai Saturday this way over to my woman, and I ain't even touched it.
How do you, who take care of you when you're sick? A lot of times, when I get sick, my woman take care of me. Right? I got real sick about a year ago when this shit first came out. Hey, I had no bodily contact with her nothing. She didn't get sick. You want to know why? Because I wasn't kissing, I wasn't doing nothing. She wasn't eating after me.
So that means, right, so you didn't have no contact and touched her. She was fine.
Not a damn thing
right?
wrong with her.
Now, if he'd have tried to go and hump on her something, it'd have been different. He'd have passed it. All right? So anything that just because I entered in the room and my face is uncovered and your face uncovered and you breathe in the air, I just breathe and now we both sick.
God.
That's a weapon, man. That ain't natural.
That's why
And now, and then what were they calling it? Gain of function. Somebody get that Ciroc 10 and 8 real quick.
That's why they're not tripping about the masks really too much no more. I go into the gym now, I don't wear masks. They don't say shit. You got some people with masks, you got some people without masks. Cause they know the shit, they starting to realize the shit is bullshit.
Yeah.
Man.
And if it's even if the thing is real, a mask they can protect you. Your ears are open. If you ever been to an eye, ear, nose specialist, you can't cover up your mouth and your nose and leave your ears unprotected. Everything, the right thing you need Q-tips, so you get earaches. It's all interconnected. So if your ear's not covered up too, you have to put on a full. Look,
Ear can make
we had to put. Look, when I was in the Marine Corps, you would always have some asshole that would come with that tear gas, and while we sitting around just chilling, all of a sudden the tear gas would pop right in the middle of it. All right, and you have to pull out your gas mask, breathe, stop breathing. Put your gas mask on and breathe out, push it all out, then you breathe and finally in your gas mask. Because if you don't, you're going to start choking and your tears, you're going to start snotting, your eyes going to, shit will fuck you up.
You only got to get a little bit of it.
Yep. And it'll
Just
fuck,
a little bit
it'll
of
fuck you up. So,
but
that was to make sure that you understood how to don and clear your mask, and your mask covers your ears, your nose, and your mouth. So you just can't cover your mouth, leave your ears open, and then say you safe. It's bullshit. And then the mask with the microscopic germs, the people did thousands of videos showing you that basically it's like trying to hide behind this fence. Can you see that fence on the camera?
Yeah, I can see the fence.
All right, so it's like me standing on this side of this fence, thinking I ain't gonna get stung by those bees. Like, oh shit, leave with the bees.
Somebody's shooting at you.
Right.
Right
so I'm gonna stand on this side of the fence and the flies can't get me. That's the equivalent of wearing a mask, man. The germs were so microscopic, the material on the mask, it was bullshit, man. And anyone who would bring up those valid intellectual scientific proofs would get demonized, with their videos demonetized, or
even scientists came out.
Scientists and doctors were saying it, and the same thing happened to them.
This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries and riches gotten by deceit.
Right, and this was unrighteous dealings, riches got by deceit, because they're trying to deflect from the fact that fraud chief basically got rich pushing this shit. And why all these mom and pops, like I said, that restaurant right there was open since as long as I can remember, man. It was an Israelite brother that ran it. And the food was good. It's a little hole in the wall. And it was cheap. You can take your whole family there and eat for $40 or less, man.
That's good.
You know, and everybody get food. All right?
And you got shit like that.
It ain't, exactly. And now it's gone, man. It's gone because he ran all. And so while all the mom and pop businesses got drove out of business, big companies and pharma made trillions, billions, man.
Walmart.
So riches, they got rich by deceit, by fraud cheat. All right, and his 1 Timothy 2:6 gang, somebody grabbed that. They got rich by fraud, man. By paying and another thing, all the other diseases that kill people all day long, every day, that were way more dangerous than the last one, they just disappeared. Nobody was dying from tuberculosis. Tuberculosis was way more dangerous, way more contagious, killed way more people around the world, but yet they didn't lock down the world and make everybody wear masks over tuberculosis. Influenza kills people every year, all the time, man.
It's pretty fucked up, too. The
right?
influenza is pretty bad.
All of a sudden, people stop dying of hypertension. They stop dying of diabetes and all these lupus, all these other diseases that thousands of people die all day long, every day. Every day. And all of a sudden, all those deaths were only of that thing. It's like all other deaths stopped. All the other deaths said, all the other deaths said, well, you know what? We're going to sit down and take a smoke break while C do his thing. Go ahead, read that again and bring yours out, brother.
This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches gotten by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Right, and then what they're trying to do is forward their kingdom and get control over the people through scientific fraud. And the Bible warns you that these people will use false science to try to get around the word of God and rule over the people. And that's what 1 Timothy 2 and 6 is. Whoever got it.
Okay. 1 Timothy 2 and 6.
First Timothy 6 and 20.
Then it's the 2 Timothy. 6 and 20, Salakia. 1 Timothy 6 and 20. I was saying it backwards.
This is 1 Timothy 6 and 20. O Timothy, keep thou which is commanded to thy trust.
Right?
Avoid profane and vain babbling, in opposition of science falsely so called.
Right, of science falsely so called. All right, so what he's saying to know that he didn't say leave science alone. He said things that are falsely called science. Right? I let go of this water bottle, it drops. Gravity works. That's real science. Science just simply means to know. I know that when I let this go, it's not just gonna hang out and just chill there until I'm ready to drink it again. Right? Although on the day of our power, if I get that kind of power, that'll be some.
You don't even need bottles.
Right.
You can just make the
water. Your water just sit right there. No, because you gotta have a golden cup.
Oh yeah,
just to be. You walk your cup, just go with you. Your cup is right. You know, that's what. Hey, come on, man. Right. Jake, man. You know Jake gonna. Right.
Precious rubies in that bitch.
You know, right? You're gonna have a gold cup with rubies and and sapphires and precious stones on it. Your cup is gonna be worth more than the Taj Mahal, man. All right, but worse than the queen's and king's diamond, because the diamond really ain't worth nothing anyway. That's some false shit that the Amalekites came up with.
They put diamond.
A diamond is, it's a good decorative thing,
and it's hard as fuck.
But that's why.
It's just a hard ass rock.
That's why they have diamond tip drill bits.
I mean, it's just a clear rock, man. Like, even when you get different stones, right? You can polish those stones to give them a shine. So what they do is they cut it a certain way, and they just polish it to make it shine. That's it, and make it look good for people. Right, but really,
that was a scam that Amalek came up with.
But crystals are actually worth more than that, and they shine better than diamonds.
Because they know that the ruby, ruby and sapphire and emerald, those are real precious stones that are worth a lot more. Right.
Even the evidence.
Yeah.
And they put them in the video games, like that game Resident Evil 4 and 5. And you pick up precious rubies and sapphire, and you sell it off to the merchant and get weapons.
No, not only that, it's different. Like when you play Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy, the different rubies and different certain sapphires give you magical power, healing power.
You just hit a point right there. Yeah. Look what Thanos was looking for. Thanos
looking for stones.
All the stones.
You
all
looking for
different
diamonds.
colors. They were sapphires, emeralds, rubies. Look at them. Those were the colors, and they gave them power.
That's the point.
Stones.
Because they're made up of the elements. So you imagine these precious stones, they got to have some sort of elemental. Hey, there might be some truth to that. We'll find out.
Well, I mean, why witches wear them? Why witches go into it if it wasn't nothing?
Right. We gonna learn about all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff we don't know that the Lord's gonna, But it would be raw as hell. Your golden cup, your mug, just I'm setting it. It's just sitting there chilling until I, and I just leave it sitting there.
Well, Esau got a cup like that already. It's a little stand and it's a little big on it. You sit it on the stand.
Well,
they got that bullshit.
How Ratazama have a sword like that too.
Woo!
Right? And all they got to do is just look at you, and my sword do all the work.
They got it on the game. The swords are the dude he levitating, the swords just floating
with him.
Slicing.
Oh yeah, he must have been watching one of my videos.
Castlevania.
Castlevania. Yeah.
But, I mean, even in Revelation, it mentions about all the stones in Revelation.
Because Isaiah 33:18 says, "We shall meditate terror, man." And I meditate terror. I'm not gonna sit up and I sit up and think about the type of punishments and pains to dish out, and that's biblical, man, according to the scriptures. Right? Especially for all the suffering that we go through, and I've gone through personally, but that my people go through on a daily basis, man. With all this oppression, just constant oppression, man.
I got it. It's 1 Corinthians 2:9. But as it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear have heard, neither have entered into the heart of man. So even the things we saying, it's still like the kingdom is still gonna be far greater than
The
that.
Lord gonna give your mind is gonna be elevated. You're gonna be able to just think of things, man.
Because right now we don't have Esau put so much false knowledge out here. They're not giving you true knowledge and true wisdom.
Yeah, and your pineal gland is calcified.
Right.
You know, your pineal gland is calcified, man. And that's another reason why Americans are so docile and stupid, because they've been dumbed down by all this these super amounts of fluoride, especially the youth, because the youth they vaccinate the youth with all these with so many drugs.
At birth.
Someone was showing me the list of drugs. You know, I looked at the list of drugs that they shot us up with when I was a kid to the list of drugs now. That's
why our bodies
it's
fucked
like
up.
What the
That's why our bodies fucked
and so
up.
right, so it basically it's keeping you out of tune with nature and with the Lord, man. And the fact that we're alive, man.
Can
Like,
you remember your
like the scripture says, that we shall eat our bread defiled, all right? Right, man. Or we shall eat poison and yet live, basically. It's so in good hands, brother. That's what Israelite hands. All right? You know, our food is so defiled, man. I was watching Godzilla, and the dude said to the little chick, tap a filter.
Oh yeah, they talked about it.
And she said, filter. And he was like, and then they were able to get down. And she was like, yeah, because the tap is full of fluoride, and it pacifies you, and blah, 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 blah. I was like, whoa,
They
man.
said it in
He
the
went
fucking
heavy
food.
into it, man, about all the how it destroys your body and your mind, and you can't think, and it makes you docile. That's why Americans allows their government to operate on such an oppressive level and don't rise up against it like a lot of these small and other countries do. A lot of these are right because because the men are more manly from not having drinking tainted water and all this defiled food that messes with your mind, and you have no idea that it's even happening to you.
In different places in the country, I think like England, Germany, China, McDonald's got to make their food a certain way. They can't put certain chemicals in it. Oh yeah, it's illegal. Certain chemicals are illegal to put it in the food because it causes cancer.
So maybe it actually tastes like it used to. Because when I was a kid, McDonald's was bomb. This shit is garbage. Oh my God. And they got the kids so messed up, they actually think this shit is good. Like, you ain't happy. Man, if you could taste some McDonald's that we had,
In the 90s?
man, shit, the 80s, the 70s, man.
Even it comes to the fruit. I haven't had a good plum since I was a kid. And they would be nice and soft.
I agree with you. I haven't had a good plum.
They used to be so fucking sweet and good, man. Just juicy. I mean, I can remember my mother coming in. She always brought fruit. And you could smell the fruit when she opened the goddamn door.
You can't even smell them.
You can't smell them. Like strawberries, you got to get right up on the strawberry to smell it. Because I smell my strawberries.
Everything was better, man.
Yeah,
Cherries,
yeah,
everything was better than what it is
avocado.
now. The damn watermelon, everything tastes better 20, 30, 40 years ago.
And the peaches was
Then
a
what
little
it-
bit bigger.
You know,
Yeah, peaches was sweet too.
Man,
they really have to foul the earth. And like every week I talk about the deadness of these trees. I was standing here before the brothers got here thinking how thick this tree used to be. And, and looking at it, all these empty branches with no leaves as the sun was beaming on me. Right? Because if those leaves was there, the sun wouldn't be beaming on me like that.
You sit up here and said something, maybe a couple of months ago, man, when you was walking by, you could see these little black spots on the leaves.
Yeah, that was last year.
And I was sitting up here looking at all the black spots, and if anyone remember, there used to be fruit that you could pick off the crab apples.
Yeah.
When was the last time you seen the crab apples?
Yeah.
You can't do that no more.
And my brother said the berry trees, he had berry trees by his house. You know, there's very few of them left. And that they didn't produce, he said it didn't produce no berries this year.
And you'll see all the berries on the ground, the flies and bees.
Yeah, those were mulberries.
You don't
Because
even
they start off as bushes and they actually grow into trees.
Yeah.
When they used to sing Merry-Go-Round the Mulberry Bush,
Right.
you could actually eat those.
Especially lemons now. I had a lemon for the first time.
Lemons always get
Seeds. And this lemon I had not one seed in it.
Yeah, that was some of that Esau mad scientist chemicals.
So that shit was bugged out. I'm like, bro, you can taste the difference. I'm like, bro, this one can taste good.
This is Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant.
Yeah, it is.
So everything messed up because you had a land Sabbath, right? You had land Sabbath, you had a sea Sabbath, you had a Sabbath when it came to the land. All right, as far as the animals, all right, how plenteous, how many, you wouldn't need to kill animals so much if you wasn't pushing meat. That slows down your digestive tract, all right? It makes your body a haven for sicknesses, man. You steady putting red meat in your body.
And not only the red meat, but all the chemicals.
All the chemicals on
so
top
that they can preserve it.
You know? Because you used to use salt, we used to preserve food. Cold to preserve food. You don't need to put preservatives in.
You know what should be done is that you should have a farm should have the market right at the farm.
Right at the farm.
So the animals are slaughtered as they're needed, not just put in line in troughs and just sent to their death. They just march to their death every day after day after day. They wrap them in plastic, put all kinds of chemicals in them, put them in freezers, and let them sit there for months, and then send them out to stores, and that whole sort of thing.
Salmonella,
right.
Poison. A freezer may not be in a
chicken or a turkey should be killed right before you eat it. That's point blank period. Right?
Then the animal shouldn't know you finna kill it.
It shouldn't know at all. It shouldn't be terrified. Man, when I've seen the videos that goes on at these slaughtering places and how horrific, and then these merciless machines that they were throwing these animals in, sometimes they weren't even dead yet.
They throw the whole cow in the fucking grinder.
And it just grinds her.
The whole thing. It just grind. I seen one where they took the cow and just pushed the cow. The cow was alive. Just pushed the live cow, and it was like a big ass grinder, and it just grinded up the cow. I was like, damn.
And the cow is horrified. And so it dies like that, and he's in pain, man. So look, Esau is wicked, man. He's crooked.
So you got chemicals that go into the meat. Your body puts different chemicals into your meat, man. That's why the Lord told us to do certain things, man. And it makes it taste weird. Like if you kill a buck, they say don't scare it because the meat will be tense. It won't be a certain tender or something like that. It's a certain way you're supposed to kill an animal, man. But here in America, man,
an animal's not supposed to know it's about getting sacrificed. It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to have no clue. Everything's good. And all of a sudden, his cartoid veins get slit, and he bleeds out within seconds. You don't even have time to be afraid. His life leaves him so fast. All right? That's how it's supposed to be done. All right? The chicken running for his life, man, he chasing the chicken.
Chasing him.
He tried to kill him. I just pictured that in my head.
Right. And that dude was a friend of my stepfather, too, man. I knew that dude, Harold. They used to go hunting and fishing together. Go ahead.
Sirach 37, verse 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting, which means excessive, will turn to choler.
Read it again, brother.
Sirach chapter 37, verse 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness.
Now look at that girl across the street. Turn the camera. Excess of meat. See the spirit. You see that?
Yeah.
You look like she got a booty in the front.
You know if she's coming or going.
Okay, now bring it to the back. Right.
And all of this probably
she got
waste.
a booty in the front, man.
And that's probably
So,
waste.
We can't.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's all waste in our body.
We gotta fix that, man. We shouldn't be like that, man. All right? Go ahead.
Back in 30, Sirach 37 and 30. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting will turn to choler.
There you go, man. So that's another reason why they rule the apocrypha, man. All right, the Bible actually tells you how to live and how to eat, man. It should be you should have a balanced diet, man. That's why if you're sick or you got a weight issue, you want to drop some weight, all you gotta do is start eating the Mediterranean diet, which is really our diet.
Yeah.
Right? Just go to Ishmael's shop. You know,
you get a lamb and hummus.
You start even back off. The lamb is good, but just eat the chicken.
Yeah.
They give you chicken and then you gotta eat. You gotta get the. They always give you celery and greens with your food, man. You gotta eat that way. All right, lay up off the bread. It's really not that difficult. All right, to get yourself to drop a few pounds and get yourself healthy. It's not that difficult at all. All right, you just gotta learn how to eat and back up off that meat sometimes. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
Right, people are mourning, man, because we're sick. We're every time it rains, man, I get headaches. So I know that they spraying heavily. Yeah, they spraying heavily because I noticed it the last two rainfalls. Right as the rain came, I had headaches, man. I was like, damn. And the second time I identified, I was like, man, you know what? I was fine until it started raining, man. And then all of a sudden, my head started hurting. Why? Because and so, if anything, can you see this leaf right? I mean, this branch. All right? Anything that's going to kill, like I said, it's like every other branch has nothing on it, man.
And you are what you eat, right? That's
right?
saying.
So whatever, and that rain is coming down on top of us. It's getting in our drinking water. It's getting on the food. It's getting on everything. It's killing the trees. So if they can make the tree have branches that produces no leaves, we're in June, man.
Knocked out.
It should be the leaves. That almost look like so. This fall, man, the trees gonna look back quick.
God, it's okay. I remember the name. It's a machine at this a refinery I used to work for. It's called a NOx scrubber. And it's basically an infirmary. So in the infirmary, NOx scrubber is basically connected to all of the ventilation system, so it don't go out into the air, right? So what the NOx scrubber does, it shoots a mist of water to catch all of the chemicals, and then it whoosh, it'll flash burn it, so it wouldn't get to the atmosphere. Wow. So what they're doing is they're using the water, so they spread it in the atmosphere and create like a little light dust, and then make it rain to make it drop down on the people.
Well, that makes sense because that will make sense why your car's dirty every time the rain comes. Because I don't know how many times I've said that. I remember when I was a kid, when it would rain, my mother would give me a rag and tell me to go out there and wipe my car down. And I would go out there and wipe my car down, and it would look like it went through the car wash. Now, when it rains, your car actually is dirty. So what they're saying is the atmosphere has metals and dirt and junk in it, and it's coming down, and it gets on your car, it's getting on your skin, it's getting on everything. The animals all have coal in their eyes and shit. All right.
And then at these car washes now, you gotta get the wax, get all this extra shit. You pay more money now just to protect the car from getting dirt from the fucking rain.
Right. So why? It's insane. It rains, you gotta go to the car wash. It makes no sense.
Exactly.
It should rain and your car should be washed clean. You just get a rag and go, yeah. And now your shit's shiny. Now your car's actually dirty from the rain. Why? How is the rain dirty? How? Please explain. Right? Because exactly. That means the earth is completely defiled under the inhabitants there.
He's all killing it. That's why the scriptures say the Lord's going to destroy them that destroy them.
Go ahead and bring it out, brother. Because Esau's in that mind state right now that if I can't have it, nobody can. It's like that fine broad, right? He wanted it, but she didn't want him. She wanted some chocolate, right? So now he's like, well, you know what? If I can't have it,
nobody can.
Right. So, so he just killed her.
And it's like the earth is a living thing, man. The earth is alive. Nothing comes from something that's dead. Nothing can, hey man, the trees eat out off the soil. Right? The soil has nutrients in it. All right, the soil has nutrients. All right, the soil has nutrients that feeds the trees. All right, the scriptures talk about the earth has a fire in it. All right, which is a fire, which is a core. All right, the earth is actually alive, man, so to speak, man. And Esau is destroying it. Where do you think the fucking lava from volcanoes come from? And it's like you got a car and you got a machine and the pressure get too high. All right, what happened? You got to release some of the goddamn pressure. All right, the lava come out, relieve some of the pressure. All right, that's inside of the core, man. All right, but they killing the planet. The oceans is destroyed. They show you that in the movie, the Aquaman. He said they're killing the oceans, they're killing the animals,
Yeah.
they're overfishing in the oceans, they're killing everything.
Well, they ain't right. And so when you over monopolize something, what's the word that I'm looking for? They create an unbalance, especially by taking out all the bottom feeders, man, taking out all the abalone, the crab, the oysters, the oysters, the crab, the abalone, what do you call that little thing, that little nasty thing that's on no, not that thing that's on SpongeBob.
Plankton.
Yeah. They're taking all those things out of the water and making a delicacy, all these little things. All right, but those things are your filters. And anyone who's ever owned a big fish tank, all right,
Put that in there.
and you put animals like that into the water, and your water stays cleaner and clearer longer because they eat all the residue and the waste of the other fish.
Algae eaters, they real small. Algae get to a foot long.
Yeah, and they'll get big, but
It's all eating.
and all this eating is algae and waste.
Keeping
So
your
that's
glass
the last thing that you want to actually pull out and have it for protein. So I'm gonna eat this algae and eat some carrots.
clams. You put clams in the water. Clams will keep the water clean. Like clams actually keep your water looking crystal clear.
So there it is, man. That's what they do. They clean.
And
So and you can't and you remove them from the waters. That's why the waters of America, all the rivers and lakes are all so filthy and dirty. Because not only are they pouring all those chemicals in there, but then they take all those things and filter and clean the water out. And then sell them to people. And then the people get sick and get heart disease and diabetes and high blood pressure and all the other shit. So these people gotta go.
Book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath has come, and the time of the end, that they should be judged, and that they should give forth unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, shouldest destroy them, which destroy the earth. Right?
So, hey, the saints and the prophets that are putting their lives on the line, hazarding their lives, somebody grab that, to come out to the elements and to the heat, to the cold, right? It's cooled off a little bit. That's because, the clouds, we're in the shade and the clouds have been, covering the sun up, so it's not just beaming all the time. These are real clouds, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's rare that we get to see real clouds and not that bullshit that Esau sprays and spreads. All right? And sometimes they spread so heavily that the whole sky just be covered.
And sometimes the shit look like bubbles.
Yeah.
Like bubbles in the fucking sky. The way how much when they turn that damn machine on.
And that's when you know.
Bubbles.
And usually when they do that, it's gonna rain within a day or two. Then they bring that shit down.
Fucking up the earth. Like, man, even when you look at the clouds make beautiful shapes and stuff,
Yeah.
man. You can't even see the beautiful shapes out the clouds no more like you used to. Like,
Yeah, it's rare that we get to see this. These are real clouds. Go ahead, brother.
Acts chapter 15, verse 26. That hath answered that died for the name of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, well have sent therefore Judas and
Sorry, say that again.
it was just 26.
Read it again, brother.
man, said Acts chapter 15, verse 26.
God.
Man that hath answered their lives for the name of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach.
Right, so we've hazarded our lives, man. Because pretty soon, we're going to be told, you know, not to teach in this name. Because the time is going to come when we're not going to be able to say Yahweh, Yahushua. The famine of the word is coming. Because, right, you know, it's going to happen. It happened before. When you read Acts, the 18th chapter. Yeah. Because, he bought that from the Israelites.
Wow.
You know, he had no idea that was going to come. I heard him, but he bought that car from, I sold that car to an Israelite, man. They had the same, those are the same rims and white walls on it, too. So he ran it. Because it's only a 6-cylinder, you know, and it's a 6 with a straight 6, a 3-speed on the collar. It's got a collar. I wanted a 3-speed on the floor, 4-speed on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you understand if you really wrap your mind around, and the scripture said we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. All right, so not only are we putting our lives on the line, all right, on the natural sense, making ourselves targets for the left hand spirit. Like, because Pookie them ain't no challenge. All right, folks in them ain't no challenge. All right, because they already do what they want to do. They done laid the seed. They fucking goddamn it granddaddy. Their granddaddy was wicked. Taught them how to be wicked. I taught his son how to be wicked. Now his grandchildren are fucking wicked. The demon don't need to go there and play them.
They in and out of jail.
They do it.
They commit adultery, smoking weed,
Right.
killing their own brothers, selling drugs, selling their own people poison.
Yeah.
You know,
Then
you got them already.
You got them already. But you got men that's actually trying, all right, and is trying to do what they do the right thing according to Yahweh Shema Shai. I like what Satan said. He said, man, you know I can't do nothing to him but forth your hand. He shall curse you to your face. So he's like, let me loose. Let me loose him. Let me try him. I can get him to curse you. All right, so that's a challenge for them to break. Hey, even
right.
with
I'm gonna get a man of the Lord to go back into the world.
Yeah.
You know, like that brother over there, you know, fight for his life, man.
Yeah.
You know, to get a brother to fall off.
Yeah.
All right. But we praying that the brother be a prodigal son, man.
Yeah.
Because you know some of the younger brothers, they have no idea who he is, man. He was the first Israelite to kill. And now he on the other side of the line.
He was the first.
Matter of fact, if it weren't for him, none of them would be there.
None of them.
They all came through him.
Yeah.
All right?
That is true.
They all came through him.
He brought Ariella.
Yeah.
And Ariella went to the other brother. Yeah.
Nadia was.
Yeah.
You know,
and then not only that, we telling them leave to their face. We putting you in chains. Who really got YouTube taking down our videos? Alright? When you got IUIC with their videos up 10,000 views, 8,000 views, whatever.
I stand corrected. Me and Rapaya were the first Northern Kingdom in the camp. Yeah. And Sasha Hart. And Sasha Hart got all day long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fire. He love that fire water. Yeah, of course.
This is Matthew, verse 10. Well, the play was in 18, but I'm going to start from 16. This is Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
Right. So why would Yahweh Shai say that? Right, because not we amongst all of this madness. All right. I mean, even amongst our people. Right, niggas look at us like we crazy. Our own people. Right, because we telling them to do the right thing. Right, last night we damn near got into a fight because of righteousness. Because they ain't like we were saying righteous. We were speaking righteousness. We had our conversations in the heavens. We're a complete set opposite to this place, man. Hey, just like Yahweh Shai said, man, we are from above and you are from beneath, man. All right? Hey, the scripture say the elect is joint heirs with the Lord, man. It was with us from the beginning.
Yeah, you coming over here with all that positive energy.
Right.
And them demons and them niggas start up.
Man, it was one out of all of them. She was, man, when we got to, you know, we just me and him talking. We ain't talking to nobody. I mean, the demon riled up in this bitch. She walked past and moved. I gotta get my food. Like acting like a nigga, fucking bowel infection.
That's okay.
And then end up getting cursed.
That's okay.
The only one out the whole she
She gonna be that Meyer in the street.
Because they want to act like we speaking something negative. Oh, y'all being negative. You being negative. We actually teaching you life. We giving you the waters, man. The truth.
They don't want the
You
water.
know, y'all want to be thirsty and fucking starve and dry out and fucking have,
They want to drink the acidic water, man.
Exactly.
They don't want the alkaline.
They want the sun.
The holy
acidic.
alkaline. They want that acidic shit. You know?
The Sonic.
He got the best. Ain't gonna lie, he got the best alkaline water right now. Look at that. I don't know, man, but that shit, man, he got the best alkaline.
He done came out with the water.
Yeah.
And he did 50.
Yeah, man. He
That
got
nigga's
the,
smart, though.
he wicked as hell, but he got the best alkaline water. He was showing, testing all the
But what's the
water.
point of him drinking alkaline water? He eating all that coke.
Man,
Fuck that nigga, man.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying, man. He
He gonna
double
die
minded.
anyway, right?
He double minded.
How you gonna make alkaline water, but you still eat shrimp and pork?
He said, I'm
Because
eating
you know he was
pork.
coming against the Israelites when he did that.
Yeah, man.
Nigga trying to tell me
I can't eat
I'm hungry than a fuck up in this.
This bitch.
Right. You rich as hell. Go buy something
Talking
else.
about what he say now. The Lord pick his head to the clouds. And he's like, son, that nigga was wicked, man. He think he ain't
He
gonna
gave
make.
the Lord the finger, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's see, man.
So fuck you. He's out like this.
Oh man, I can't wait to see that motherfucker.
Oh, Lord. He
He
That's
got something
okay.
special for him.
He gonna be one of them Luke 19:27. And I hope that Amalek Malone is one of them Luke 19:27 cats too. That I hope that Amalek Malone, Teeman Malone, that his death is horrible, slow, and public. That it get broadcast on the internet on World Star. All right, that it be brutal.
Okay, Malone. That
Right.
is
Got
Yeah,
one.
comfortable.
I think he got one.
Cut.
I have one real quick on Galatians 4:16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Yeah, it is, man.
Right. Right. And that's what happened. And look, I got cursed out by my own blood brother yesterday because I got a life. Alright? Hey, this truth. Hey, like you say, wisdom make a man face to shine, man.
Yeah.
They can't deal with you. Alright? They can't deal with you. Look, do you understand what we dealing with Yahweh Shai, man? The first begotten of many brethren, man.
Man, same brother, y'all from the same waters and everything.
Okay, came back here since
She
you
go
saw
like
that.
shit, man. I told her, I said, nigga, you act like daddy, nigga. Like the fuck, you my brother. He said, nigga, fuck you. Click, hung up on me.
If I may, this is Joshua chapter 1 verse 5. Joshua 1 and 5. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. So I will be with thee. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee.
Right. So they can't deal with you, man. I like the scripture say, light is set against darkness. Right? If you just walking and you just got all this life, why you think every woman can't come to you? Why you think you can't deal with certain women? Why they just too wicked? Right? Man, look, man, I had women block me. I had a woman ask me, why you treating me so good? She was confused. Hey, man, this is my son. He'll tell you about his mama. I used to take care of her.
Why you treat me so good?
Why you treat me so good? I get talked about for doing goddamn it righteous things. Hey, look, I don't want you to come outside like that. Hey, whole family scoff you because you don't want your woman showing her goddamn ass. Hey, my son, my kids shouldn't have to see his fucking mother's body, man. That's wicked. That's against the scripture.
Or endure, he walking with his mama and dudes.
Damn. Man, look, man.
You know, you see, a young man shouldn't have to endure that, man. Because if you was modestly dressed, it wouldn't, you know. But if you walking around with your cleavage out, you know, and your ass all out.
You bend over, your whole bottom of your butt cheeks coming out.
And niggas rolling up on you, and you got your young sons, and they got to endure that. It's like, man, because if I was old enough, I probably would knock you out right now.
Knock your ass.
But I'm little and I can't write. You know?
But it's funny that women be knowing this shit because they dress modest. They always say, I always conversate with some of these wicked women. They be always saying that, reason why we I don't dress modest because men don't be attracted to the women like that. They be more attracted to the women. I love women. I said I love women.
I love to see women in a nice dress.
That's what I told her. I said I love that, man. I love a woman with her hair wrapped and nicely dressed up and not showing everything.
Right.
At least give me something I can at least imagine. I can't even imagine no more. You just all out with this shit. I don't get a visual no more.
And not only that, everybody else can see it too. What they're saying is that you belong to the streets as the young brother.
She belongs to the street.
That means that right.
Belong to the street.
That means right. That means that everybody can get it. And that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know, I love those sundresses.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you don't see too many women
And
wearing sundresses.
I love a sundress. I just do.
love the shit too.
Right?
Yeah.
And when a woman is when you right, you still can make a sundress look good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to endure, you know, because I am a man. So I like cheating.
Hold back. You
right.
Make it hard for you not.
And then I'm looking, and they got children, so obviously they got men. Right?
Bunch of baby daddies.
Right. You know,
bunch of Eves.
But you know what? They'll still give you their number. Go ahead, brother.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, verse 9. The boredom of a woman may be known in how hard he looks at eyelids.
Con, you mentioned that earlier. And now the man came around when you pulled it out.
Hey, that's why they got them damn long ass eyelashes
Yeah.
on.
Looking like butterflies, like caterpillars on their eyes.
They put it on their car, like I saw a woman today, man. She got
I've seen it too.
Rims on her car and shit, got the fucking eyelash.
And them bitches be long as hell.
Long
I
as hell.
seen a video of a woman on a boat. She couldn't even close her eyes. The eyelashes were so damn long, the wind just. And she looking dumb as hell.
I'm putting it on your car, man.
The eyelashes, you won't let her close her goddamn eyes.
Love the lashes, man.
Damn it, you need some motherfucking clear eyes.
Hey,
Your eyes probably dry as hell.
Harley is set in great dignity, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so we gonna set it down. All right, anybody got a last scripture? All right, so with that, we're gonna give all praise and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash,
Yahweh.
Ba'ababal.